So I think you have to go backwards. I think the thing that everybody makes mistakes with, I think one of the best things I've ever done, and I articulated about my love of the journey, but I don't talk enough about the way I strategize. I kind of like playing the role of like charismatic crazy guy, but I definitely think about stuff quite a bit. And I think the best way to win is to know where the hell you're going. And so, and the reason I've been pushing self-awareness is not everybody here is destined to build a $500 million thing. I also think it's crazy that if people don't realize how amazing it is to build a $1 million thing. If you can build a $1 million a year revenue business and run on 30% net profit, you have a crazy life. And so we have this whole world of everybody trying to achieve for something that's virtually impossible. And they're putting themselves in a position where by trying to build something impossible, they're gonna end up working for a bank. Because the one thing that people haven't factored in yet is globally, the economy has been pretty good for the last decade, or at least 8 years. And my biggest concern is the next economic slowdown, right? And obviously Ireland's had different things going on in the UK, and Brexit for the UK and the US, and everybody has their own microeconomic things, but I think the reality is globally, right now, things are good. You know, people are tense about politics, but economic realities and all the people that made money in the 2000s or have family money are pouring money into startup land. A rugby startup can actually get money from some individual, that made money prior. I mean, the amount of $25,000 and $50,000 stupid checks I've written in the last 5 years, and so when that goes away, what happens? And so I think that that's a long-winded answer for a couple things. One, you need to know what your ambition is, right? Two, you have to figure out if what you're doing now is just the place where you're transitioning into the next chapter of your career, or is this the thing that you want to try to build? And so if you actually decided from a strategical standpoint that the next 2-3 years is really just about learning, less posturing, faking it to make it, more just learning, tasting it, understanding the grass is not always greener. Yeah, startup land is better than finance land because people aren't as douchey or this and that, but there's a lot of things that aren't as good, like pressure, like it's all on you, like da-da-da-da-da-da. Well then if you've made the macro decision that this is a stepping stone and this is how you're gonna go about the world, all of a sudden you're not spending most of your time trying to figure out how to make the most money out of this. You're taking it in a totally different mindset. You've almost got a university-like mentality to the execution. You don't want to go out of business. You don't want to have to go back to get a job. But I would, this is advice I'm giving, I'm giving advice to everybody right now. You really have to know what you're doing, like at the macro. And the other thing is you have to be flexible enough to know it changes. What your ambition is at 19 and 15 and 22 is different than what your ambition is at 41, and you have to be flexible in that reality. So I think it's a strategic answer, and I think that I think you need to think about tasting everything, because you're a young man and you want to figure out what the hell you like and what you're good at. There's just an incredible, like kind of access point of like what you're great at and what you love. When you stumble into being somebody like me, you really win. When what you're naturally great at is what you naturally love the most, and away you go. The amount of people that I meet every day that are great at something but have no interest in being a CFO. They're insane with numbers, but they don't want to do it. They want to sing, right? Or, and so that's tough.